Hello friends, I'm Narendra Verma once again before you. As you know very well that in accountancy for class 12 CBSE syllabus we have been dealing with the fourth chapter, that is change in profit sharing ratio among existing partners. Alright, and today is the last session of this chapter. Okay, and in today's session what we are going to cover: preparation of balance sheet at revised values and adjustment of capital. Alright, so let's start. So very first let's talk about this preparation of balance sheet. See what happens when the partners decide to change their profit sharing ratio from a certain date, then some changes are certain. Okay, already we have discussed that the reconstitution of the firm results various changes, like changes in the values of assets and liabilities, okay, and changes of the reserves, profit, losses, etc. Okay, so far we have discussed it all. Fine. Now we need to understand one more thing, that there is also a change in the balance sheet, because the assets have been revised, liabilities have been revised, okay, reserves have been distributed. Now the change is there in the capitals of the partners as well, right? Because everything, whether it was loss or profit or adjustment, we just debit or credit in the partners capital account. So there is a change in their capitals as well, right? So now it's time to prepare the new balance sheet, which is known as the balance sheet of the reconstituted firm, which will be prepared at revised values. Assets will be there at revised values, liabilities will be there at revised values, reserves which have been already distributed, these will no longer exist here, okay, and the capital accounts of the partners will also be changed, right? So let's understand that. You can better understand this all, okay, with the help of one numerical problem. Let me tell you one more thing. Before preparation of the balance sheet of the reconstituted firm, we need to prepare all the accounts which have been affected due to this decision of change in profit sharing ratio. Alright, so whenever we are going to attempt the question related to that, very first we need to prepare all these accounts. Thereafter, at last, we need to prepare the balance sheet, right? So let's have one numerical problem so that we can understand it better way. Alright, so the question you may see on your screen. So I have written the question here. Let's read it out. Deepak, Neeraj and Rahul were partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2:1. The balance sheet as at 31st March 2019 stood as follows. Liabilities are given, the capitals are given of three of the partners: general reserve, bills payable, sundry creditors, and in asset side we see land, building, plant, stock, sundry debtors, cash in bank, right? They decided to share profits and losses equally with effect from 1st April. Okay, equally. So that is their new profit sharing ratio. Okay, that is 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3. Understood? Goodwill of the firm be valued at rupees 6 lakh. Okay, so for the calculation of the sacrifice and gain shared in this portion of goodwill, we need to very first calculate the sacrificing and gain ratio. Understood the point? Okay. Land be valued at rupees 3,20,000. See, it has been revalued at this amount, right? Okay, what was the previous value? You have to compare. The previous value of the land is 2 lakh and now it has increased to 3,20,000. So we see that there is the increasement in the value of land of rupees 1,20,000. The value of land has increased by 1,20,000. Alright. Next, building be depreciated by 6%. What is the value of building? 2 lakh. Okay, so 2 lakh. On 2 lakh, we will charge depreciation at the rate of 6%. Then what we get? 12,000. Okay, so the value of building has gone down by 12,000. Creditors of rupees 24,000 were not likely to be claimed and hence be written off. Means the liability decreased. Fine. Out of these creditors of 2 lakh rupees, 24,000 creditors have gone down, mean decrease. Alright, fine. No other adjustment is related to revaluation. Okay, prepare revaluation account, alright, partners capital accounts and balance sheet of the reconstituted firm. So very first we'll prepare revaluation account, because for that no other ratio is needed, old ratio is needed, and these three are needed. Already we have chalked them out. Alright, so let's start. I have already prepared the format of that. See, as I have told you that increase in the value of asset, that is what? Credited to revaluation account. If you want to pass the journal entry, then what will be the journal entry in that case? Land account debit to revaluation. Okay, so it will come like this way. Understood? Similarly, if we see value of building has gone down, so that amount will be debited. Okay, or you can pass the journal entry revaluation account debit to building. Okay, so building value will be mentioned here. How much? 12,000. Okay. Now let's talk about the creditors. I have told you that already in the previous video that the decrease in the value of liabilities is credited. Fine. If you want to pass the journal entry, what will be the journal entry? Creditors account debit to revaluation account. So it will be mentioned here 24,000. Alright. Now we'll have to see that which side total is more. So directly we can see that this credit side total is more, and when credit side total is more, then this is the situation of profit. So what is the total? 1,44,000, right? Okay, we deduct 12,000 out of this, that is 1,32,000. Okay, we'll pass the entry to partners capital accounts. Alright, or we can also mention to profit transfer to partners capital account. What are the names of partner? Deepak, Neeraj, and the third one is Rahul. Okay, so we divide this 1,32,000 among the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. So let's calculate for Deepak first, that is 3/6, 66,000 for Deepak. Now let's calculate it for Neeraj, that is 2/6, it is 44,000. Now let's calculate it for last Rahul, it's 1/6, means 22,000. You can total this as well. If it is equal to this, it means distribution is correct. Fine. So in that way it will be done. Now these values will be transferred to partners capital account. 66,000, 44,000 and 22,000. I just write it down here. For Deepak, 66,000. For Neeraj, 44,000. And for Rahul, it's 22,000. Alright. So now it's time to move forward. Now we'll prepare the partners capital account, and whatever calculation is necessary for that we'll be doing it side by side. Okay, so let's start with the partners capital account. I have prepared the format. Okay, so very first we'll have to pass the entry of forwarding the capital at 31st March 2019. So what were the values of capital? 4 lakh, 2 lakh, 1 lakh by balance BD. Okay, now we'll have to see if there is any reserve. Yes, general reserve is there. Okay, no information is there related to reserve. So already I have explained in previous video that if there is no information regarding general reserve, then by default it is supposed to be distributed among the partners in old profit sharing ratio. So let's do the distribution. Okay, now for Deepak, how much amount Deepak is going to get out of this reserve? What is the value of the reserve? 1,20,000. Deepak is going to get 3/6. That is 60,000. Okay, and Neeraj is going to get 2/6. That is 40,000. And Rahul is going to get 1/6. That is 20,000. Fine. Total 1,20,000. Okay. So if you want to pass the journal entry, you can also pass the journal entry. I have already told you that. What will the journal entry? General reserve account debit to all the partners capital account, to Deepak's capital account, to Neeraj's capital account, to Rahul's capital account. Understood? So here, you know, that is what the ledger. So the posting will be done in credit side by the name of general reserve. Alright. So already we have calculated the value. Let's put that. Fine. Now let's move on. No other reserve is there. Now let's move further. goodwill. Yes, goodwill is already calculated. That is the total firm's goodwill. Okay, we'll have to calculate the sacrificing ratio. Only then we can do the journal entry, and according to that the treatment will be done. Fine. Working out to calculation of sacrificing or gaining ratio. Alright, so let's have their old ratio. Deepak, Neeraj, Rahul. Their old ratio was 3/6, 2/6 and 1/6. And what is their new ratio? It's all 1/3, 1/3 and 1. Right. So let's do the calculation. If you see that 6, 3 is 1/6 of positive, means it will be sacrificed. Okay. So Deepak is going to sacrifice by 1/6. Let's calculate for Neeraj. 2/6, 0. Okay. So Neeraj neither gained nor sacrificed. Now for Rahul, 1/6 minus 1/3. Minus 1/6 means he is gaining. So Deepak is sacrificing and Rahul is gaining. And what journal entry is passed, you know very well. Rahul's capital account will be debited and Deepak's capital account will be credited. But before that, we need to calculate the amount in the goodwill, sacrificed or gained amount in the goodwill. Okay, so let's do it here. What is the value of goodwill? 6 lakh, and 1/6 of that will be 1 lakh. Okay, so Deepak will sacrifice 1 lakh and Rahul will gain 1 lakh, and Neeraj will neither gain nor sacrifice. Understood? Okay, so if you want to pass the journal entry, what will be the journal entry in that case? See, why I am emphasizing on journal entry here, because if you do not pass the journal entry, you may commit the mistake. Okay, so I would suggest you to pass journal entry in graph. Fine, I also pass the journal entry here. He is the gaining partner, means Rahul's capital account debited 1 lakh to Deepak's capital account. Okay, so have a focus here. See, as you know that it is general and it is leisure. The entry is posted in the opposite side. Okay, so in Rahul's capital account, we will mention by to Deepak's capital account. Alright, but the amount will be mentioned in Rahul's column. Understood? Okay, similarly, in Deepak's capital account, the entry will be by the name of Rahul's capital account, but the amount will be mentioned in Deepak's column. Understood? So you'll have to be focused about it. Don't commit mistake. Okay, so I would suggest you to pass entry so that you may not commit mistake. Otherwise, if you do it at the wrong place, then definitely the problem is going to happen. Understood the point? Now let's move on. After this, there is no other point. Okay, we prepared revaluation account. The profit of that will be transferred. And what is the entry done in that case? Revaluation account debit to all the partners' capital account. So here it will be credited by revaluation account. In bracket you can mention profit. There is no problem. Okay. So what is the amount? We have already written 66,000, 44,000 and 22,000. Now let's see if any other value is left here. I don't see any other value to be placed here in this account. Fine. So let's do a total of that. So we can clearly see that this side total of all the partner is more than this side. Okay. So directly we can mention the amount here. Very first, let's do for Deepak. For Deepak it is 6,26,000 and here it is 0. So directly we'll put it here. That is to balance CD. This value will go to new balance sheet. Understood? Now let's do for Neeraj. So nil we'll have to deduct. Directly we'll mention 2,84,000. Now for Rahul, yes, 1 lakh will be deducted. So his capital will be left only 42,000. Understood? So these figures of capital will be transferred to new balance sheet. Okay. So after this all, we are going to prepare new balance sheet. Fine. So now let's prepare balance sheet. Let's be focused about the date. Earlier balance sheet was there at 31st March 2019 and they are changing their ratio with effect from 1st April 2019. So we'll prepare the balance sheet at this very date. Okay. Now Already I have written here the capital values. So let's do the entry. So the new balances of capital I have written here was 6,26,000, 2,84,000 and 42,000. Let's make the total of that. That is 9,52,000. Okay. Now general reserve has already been distributed. There is no value. Bills payable, no change has happened. It will be mentioned as it is 80,000. Okay. Sundry creditors, yes, changes happened. The sundry creditors were 2 lakh rupees and these have reduced by 24,000 because these creditors are not going to claim. Okay. So now the creditors are 1,76,000. So that is what the reassessed value of the creditors. Understood the point? Okay. Now let's see the asset side. Land. Land has also been revised. The revised value of land is 3,20,000. Now let's talk about building. Building has also been revised. What was the value of building earlier? It was 2 lakh rupees, right? And out of this, depreciation has been charged and it was costing 12,000. Already we have done the treatment of that. So what value is left here? 1,88,000. So now the building is revised at 1,88,000. Fine. Now plant, no change has happened in the value of plant. So the plant 4 lakh will remain as it is. Okay, stock, there is no change in the value of stock, 1,60,000. Sundry debtors, there is no change in the value of sundry debtors, right? If there was any change, we would change the value, but when there is no change, we won't change the value. Understood the point? Okay, cash in bank, no change is there, so that is 20,000. Fine. Now what we'll have to do, we'll have to just make the total of that. If the total of asset side is equal to the total of the liability side, it means our question is correct. Let's make the total. Let's make the total. This side total is 12,08,000. Now let's see that. Total of this side is also matching or not. Total matches here. 12,08,000. Total of asset side is equal to total of liability side. So this is the way to attempt the question based on preparation of balance sheet, right? Very first we'll prepare the revaluation account. For that we do not need to calculate sacrificing or gearing ratio. Understood the point? Then we'll prepare the partner's capital account, and for that we'll have to do some calculation. We'll have to see all the items, we'll have to see the treatment of reserve, we'll have to see the treatment of goodwill, we'll have to see the profit and loss on revaluation. Okay, so after all these adjustments, we balance the partner's capital account, and whatever the final balances are there, we put those balances here in the new balance sheet. Okay, and all the assets and liabilities are also put here at revised values, and if there is no change in any liability or asset, then they are put here at the previous values. Okay, and as many reserves or losses have been distributed, these no longer will exist here. Understood the point? Fine. So this was all about this. Now let's move forward to the second portion of today's section, that is adjustment of capital.